So we've just watched the latest Resident Evil showcase, 12 minutes of glorious information on Resident Evil Requiem, all kinds of new details, some overt, some tucked away, and of course some wonderful information on the new Resident Evil Porsche and watch collaborations. How excited are we? Let's get into it. Let's break it down. Steve, how are you feeling about the showcase?
Okay, the gameplay was pretty fun to watch, and there are some takeaways that I'm really happy with. I'll admit, probably less high energy about the product placement, but I get it. You know. The first things first, like the iconic weapon, the hero weapon, is in fact called Requiem. We have a name, cool. But it's also like, if Barry has a hand cannon, this thing's like a hand artillery piece. This is like a handheld nuclear weapon in size, especially in poor Grace's hands. I'm just like, They really have just turned around and gone, yeah, this is RE4 and RE2 if they were both the same game, but not.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin kind of deal, isn't it? It's it's one of those things where I'm like, that feels like it could be really hard to pull off. But everything they've shown so far, I've been quite impressed by. And even them kind of like, they're kind of admitting the rug pull about Leon at the beginning of this and then showing some like in development footage for the game that never was. I think that's really cool. They're showing that stuff. The big gun thing is definitely one of the big takeaways for me from this. We speculated about that on the Discord server for a little while now because it's the cover of the steel book and we've seen it in both characters' hands. But it is really interesting that they're giving Grace this kind of like hand shotgun thing, very little ammo but very lot of power rather, and I think the other big takeaway for me that I had the biggest reaction to is the return of a difficulty setting that includes ink ribbons, which is very exciting. That feels like one of those things where they really paid attention to what the fans are saying, how we want to be able to play with that kind of gameplay in mind, but not necessarily have to kick it all the way up to Madhouse or whatever the highest difficulty is for that particular game. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, Mika, how are you feeling about the showcase?
There's some cool stuff. There's some cool tidbits. Always seeing new gameplay when we see these things is lovely to see. I thought that I think the watch collab is a little extra.
It is a bit.
I understand that Leon needs his midlife crisis mobile. But do we really need a fancy watch collab too?
But what will the scalpers do without something like watches to buy?
I mean, yeah. Like it was while we were watching it, James had mentioned it's like these watches are gonna just get scooped up real quick, and like nobody will ever get a chance to get them. I think giving Leon a reusable melee weapon that he can apparently sharpen like it's a Monster Hunter game is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Grace's gameplay segments still look really cool. I admit that I'm trying not to be this person, but like I'm maybe cooling a little bit on my hype. Maybe cooling a little bit. Yeah, it feels to me like Resident Evil goes on these like peaks and valleys situations where they get something people really enjoy and then they keep going in that direction and then like try to course correct over. I'm thinking back to 6 at this moment. That's what I'm doing.
Interesting. Trying too much, maybe.
Yeah. Like 6 looked really cool when it was coming out, and then when it did, it was just too much stuff in the bag. And while I'm excited and eager and interested still, like I'm still gonna play it, obviously. I'm still gonna probably try to beat it in the first weekend because like that's what we do here. I'm a little hesitant, a little not worried, but
I get you.
You know, I'm squinting at it a little bit.
I get you. Like this is kind of what I'm getting at, where it's like it's a lot to juggle with these two vastly different styles and stuff like that. Where it's you could potentially screw one or even both of these up. So I get the worry, but I feel like they're coming across quite confident in what they are showing, and my hype levels have actually risen a little bit from that. The Leon gameplay looked really fun to me.
That's true. Yeah.
The grabbing of the random weapons. We've obviously seen him use the chainsaw before, but we saw a bit more of that kind of thing. And Yeah, it's cool to see more of the enemies now. They never really talked about it up until this point, but they've explicitly said now that zombies are like the lead enemy of this game, and they are zombies with a bit more personality, bit of Resident Evil Gaiden going on.
That lad
if
with
you
a
like.
switch.
Yeah. Wielding weapons and turning lights on and off. We get a better look at some of the enemies that we've seen in trailers from behind, like the lady at the mirror and stuff like that. That's all very intriguing. It's going to be cool to see if we can put like an idea of the locations together a little bit more by seeing, oh, this person was, like this before, worked in this role. And that's kind of interesting, sort of unique zombies and what have you. Yeah, that's cool. And obviously the other thing that was, I guess, the present surprises, I guess you want to call it that, is this crafting mechanic where you use infected blood to create an injector which can cause enemies to explode. If you read the description on that, I quickly had a pause and I had a look. It describes it as stopping the infected from mutating. So I wonder if there's anything there in terms of dead bodies getting back up again, a la Crimson Heads or something.
I hope so.
But yeah, so Steve, how are you feeling about our look at more Leon combat and zombies?
The contextual melee like gunfire is he's had enough. Like this man is at his limit of
it's
patience.
Very cool.
Akin to RE4, at some point he's going to lose his jacket. He can still do stealthy stuff too. Just like
yeah, that's true.
That's the strange thing is they've pretty much kept it all in this one building, and I still feel like we're not going to be in this building for the entire time.
No, certainly.
No, that's fine. I don't mind mixing it up. But yeah, no. The big takeaway for me is like you said, the Grace is going to be like stealing blood, like it's Evil Within's brain gel and turning it into weapons, which is it's definitely a unique gimmick. And yeah, the description in the YouTube video says a special drug that destroys infected blood cells, prevents corpses from mutating, and can be used to stealthily take out enemies. By stealthily, we mean causing them to violently explode in front of you. Like,
there is so much blood in this trailer. Like, I was watching also the number of decaps being like, our editor Canal is going to have fun trying to edit around that for this video. So, yes, it's pretty gory stuff, certainly. I think you're right in terms of I know we talked about it before, but in terms of the locations in this game, they are very much keeping a lot of this game cards close to their chest style, because describing it, Leon's sections, as being like Resident Evil 4, but then also saying Grace is going to be wandering around, cramped corridors and stuff like that. Leon's going to need some wide open spaces then to contrast with that, surely. And obviously the inclusion of the car kind of implies him moving around the city. So there is very clearly, we've not been shown the majority of the game. Mika, how are you feeling about all these new elements in the zombies?
Jazzed, right? Really, I'm glad that they're bringing zombies back. I think that that's an element to the gameplay and stuff that we've been missing for a long time. Too long, I would go so far as to say, because we're not counting Resident Evil 6 as an actual video game.
Torture simulator.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that to have Leon, to promise him a car, it'd be a disservice to probably the brand itself for them to only include it in the beginning when he arrives into town, because it's really all we've seen of it so far. Again, it brings me some brain worries to see, like, oh, he's got this car. Are we going to have driving mechanics that we have to contend with that they haven't told us about?
Yeah, that's worrying.
I don't want that. So, interested to see what they do with it. I think being able to explore Raccoon City with Leon, as I'm trying to remember, like, we did some cool, like, nice city exploration in the Resident Evil 3 make. With some nice outdoor areas that they can just pull from that. Yeah. And would be a rather enjoyable thing to see. So there are opportunities for it, because we've done it before. And I think that there's a lot there. Like, there's some good stuff to chew on. There's good soup. With regard to with Grace, I'd like to see more of what, because like they gave her a fun new tool, they gave Leon a fun new tool. I'd like to see but the thing about the Leon gameplay in this little thing was that they showed us a bit about like how his different tools interact with each other. They kind of showed us that Grace gets the stabby thing and explodes zombies, but she also comments that the mixture wasn't right. So I kind of wanted to see some other stuff like that she can do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's got to be more to that rather than just it's a zombie exploding device. Yeah, I imagine there's more beyond that. Speaking of monsters, though, it is worth mentioning we got a very brief look at a new BOW as well. It looks like who the fans, I guess, have dubbed Big Mama over the last few months is not the only oversized BOW potentially in that facility. I'm not quite sure if it is or not, but either way, we have another big chonker of a BOW in there as well, which is interesting. So that's cool. Obviously, we know it's going to be more than just zombies, but it's really interesting for everyone to speculate about Big Mama and who she is and whatever. She could be one of many, which is interesting. Could be the El Gigante of this game, or who knows what, a mid boss or something like that. So that was, I think, the pleasant surprise at the end there, the little note. I think lots of people are probably going to come out of the showcase disappointed by the lack of a demo or more discussion about what else is to come this year. Classic Collection obviously is on everybody's lips because it's the 30th anniversary. But what we saw at Requiem, I'm pretty happy with. We talked about the watches and stuff. They also showed off the new statues that are coming towards the end of the year as well, which is exciting. Again, lots of speculation about what they're going to be doing with that, but we are going to get a Leon and a Grace, and you can actually combine them together, and they'll be the same size as all the previous statues from the last few games, special editions as well, which is neat. How are we feeling about the overall package when it comes to this kind of stuff, Mika?
I mean, same thing I feel about most games when they give us something like this. I probably won't end up with the deluxe edition, if not like right away. It's pretty typical stuff for when games come out anymore, right?
That's fair. The other big thing on release wise that is definitely worth mentioning here before I throw it to you, Steve, is that the game is coming to GeForce Now, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
it's another one of those things with Capcom. Really have always known about putting their games in front of as many people as possible. So for them to add another console on top of the Switch 2, I know it's not another console, but another format potentially where people can play this game. It's just like, yep, that makes sense. That's something that they would do. So good on them.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
We might balk at the fact that he mentions AI upgraded DLLS or whatever, but the fact that they are putting it into a cloud service as well as, every platform going under the sun, and waiting for the next, this is where I have a really good joke about the Zeebo, but it didn't come to mind until just now.
Still waiting on that Zeebo 2.
Yeah, that Zeebo 2 port. But no, it says a lot. It's also going to be like basically going, hey, here's the new Resident Evil engine or the RE engine. It's going to be on every platform. Look how optimized it is out of the gate. That's fine. I'm pretty sure James would be more happy because he's the GeForce Now whiz kid.
Of course.
But in his stead, I would just go, ooh, that's all right then. Although I think he's kind of gone off GeForce Now, not to spoil it.
Well, someone will enjoy it on GeForce Now, I'm sure.
I'm just they have a lot of confidence in Grace. That front and center, she's even getting a statue. Poor Miss Redfield still hasn't got a statue. Just saying, Capcom.
Yeah.
Just saying. Ethan never got a statue either. So that's some confidence right there. And personally, I'm all for it. She seemed the correct response to blowing a full, zombie to pieces in an injection. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. I still have my concerns that this balancing act of horror and action is Leon is going to be saving the day a lot more than Grace gets an opportunity to do a cool thing. That said, I think the last thing that we should probably end on is one of the last things they talked about there. Very slightly touched on the story a little bit with this mention of Elpis, which we've seen a few times throughout promotional material, but not really explained. Still, even now, what really that means. But we know that Leon is put to task to investigate what the hell's going on with the murder of Grace's mother, Alyssa. So that's clearly how these characters are going to interact. It's not necessarily going to be like a Resident Evil 2 situation where they just happen to be in the same place at the same time and come across each other and team up or whatever. There is going to be some very specific interaction there. lots of speculation about, Grace being immune and this kind of thing, and Alyssa's blood and Daylight from Outbreak and all this stuff. And as always, and I'm very happy to say, and we are a month out, so they could ruin it. They're doing a great job of just not showing us. I'm ready to play now. Don't give me a demo. I'm just ready for it to come. It'll be here in a few weeks. It's still unbelievably, this game still has like a massive mystery, which is a big win from my point of view. But yes, we talked about hype levels. Steve, where's your hype level for this?
It was pretty much the same going in as it has in coming out, to be honest, which is not a bad thing. I'm still looking forward to Requiem. The only takeaway I have is that, my God, he literally just crushed that man's skull against a fence post and just like it was nothing. What is wrong with this man? The sheer level of brutality. This is. You know how Japan does the Z versions and the non-Z versions, for example, of the games? What's the toned down version of Requiem look like? Other than that, I'm fairly excited. I feel like we're going to get a Revelations 2 where Leon's going through the aftermath and they're zipping back and forth, maybe. I don't see a linear level of story in this one.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's any final thoughts, Mika, before I wrap up?
Thinking through it, what Steve just said about it being like Revelations 2, where it's the other person is going after, which is interesting to see because they haven't really shown us them like being together.
I think we've seen like one scene, haven't we? And that's about it. So yeah.
Yeah. So that will be cool. Final thoughts though, hype level still up there. Like I said, though, I'm like tempered, cooling a little bit, trying to keep my expectations kind of okay, so we don't come out of this one with me absolutely hating it, because that's that is my brand, isn't it?
That's right. That's the gimmick. Cool. Let us know down in the comments below if you absolutely hate Resident Evil Requiem, or if you're excited for the game, what you thought of the showcase. Were you happy with what was shown?
Land-based me personally.
Or do that, at this point, we'll take any comments we can get. Just chuck them down there, let us know how you're feeling, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more breaking Resident Evil news and general Resident Evil content. Of course, as I said, the game is mere weeks away, so we'll be doing our very extended coverage of the game very soon, so we look forward to doing that, and we look forward to you joining us for that. Thanks for watching, and have a good week.